welcome to the GBTA broadcast studio. My name is El Ng Damawan, Regional Director APAC for GBTA. Joining here today is Bertrand Saillet, Managing Director for FCM Travel Asia.
Good afternoon, El.
Thank you
Happy
for
to
being
be here.
here. It's always a pleasure to have you. I think the industry has evolved really quite rapidly over the last 12 months. What do you think of the current geopolitical landscape in the world and Asia Pacific?
Wow, that's the billion-dollar question, I guess, isn't it? So basically, Asia, like any other regions, are quite influenced by what's happening in the US right now and all the story around the tariff. We know that this is a region that is very influenced by exportation toward the West, so obviously it has an impact. But now what I'm also interested to look at is really what's happening within the region, because we were actually very hopeful a few months back seeing India and China getting closer together. We were talking about reopening flights between the two countries because, as you know, since COVID, no airlines were flying between the two countries, which represent 3 billion humans. So it's kind of a lot of potential, I guess, for the traffic within the region. But now, obviously, we are looking at what happened with India and Pakistan, which was very short and brief, but obviously had an impact as corporate travel, because as always, you look at where your risks are and you want to go to countries where you know that it's actually safe. And for a while, India, which was a very fast-growing market, has kind of stopped. So it's hard to know how those things are going to last and whether they are going to normalize pretty fast, which is our assumption. But all of this is playing, obviously, quite interesting thing for the region, and looking at how this is going to evolve as a growth of business travel, I guess.
Yeah, and we must, I think, continue to keep very close watch on the developments.
Yeah,
right.
And as you know, we have like tools and all of that which look at all of those risks when they happen. But clearly the tools are very active right now.
Okay, interesting. Now, what do you think about the technological advancements in the region?
Well, that's a good segue, isn't it? Because we need technology to monitor all of that. Yes. So, listen, I think the technology, you know what I'm very excited about is that this region in the past had the reputation to be kind of behind, right? So when the rest of the world was adopting online technology, online booking tool, and modern things, this region was still very much old-fashioned, relying on your travel consultant, not necessarily embracing, particularly in corporate travel. I'm not talking in general, but corporate travel in particular. And I see now that this trend is changing. Customers are willing to adopt new technology. They want modern apps that talks to their travelers and make their lives easier. They want to find better ways to book, to be much more efficient. And I think this is really going to the right direction. AI is everywhere. I mean, as you know, we've been at the forefront of it, trying to use it to enable our people to be much more relevant for our customers, obviously. And this is definitely happening. So I think it's a very exciting stage for the technology, particularly in this region, and I see a lot of innovation coming from Asia now.
Indeed. I mean, that's our observation as well. I think all this adds to enabling the business travelers to travel smarter with all the advancements. I think
Absolutely.
That's exciting. And what do you think about the current competitive landscape in this business in APAC?
I think, it's in line with what I was just saying about the technology. As we are evolving into a more modern travel management program, there's definitely a desire for customers to go for more tech-savvy, I would say, players. I still see a lot of consolidation happening in this region, particularly on the smaller player side, because I think it's very hard now, if you're a small agency, to be able to survive given all of the innovation and investment that you need to put in place to actually have a competitive tool in the market, you know what I mean? So I can see a bit of consolidation, and basically the large ones are the ones that have the means to invest and probably get the best out of this new era of travel management. So that's kind of what I would say on competitive landscape.
Well, we will continue to look out for those developments to happen in the industry. With that, thank you again, Bertrand, for joining us at the GBTA broadcast studio. And thank you all for tuning in.
My pleasure, Al. Thank you very much.
Thank you.